Oh, don't. Okay, fine. I was joking. Teacher, I hate that stuff. My husband takes a bath in it. Anything that's wrong, teacher oil. He doesn't care what's wrong with any teacher oil. Or mother's milk, which is not happening right now.
All you need is love.
So, I have an aunt who turned 65 last week. Yeah, but because of drugs, alcohol, bad decisions, we forgot to celebrate it. Didn't work. Okay, fine. Who did? Okay.
Say it again.
Okay.
Say it again.
I have an aunt who turned 65 last week. Yeah. But because of drugs, alcohol, bad decisions, we forgot to celebrate it. Thank you. Oh, this is gonna be a good one, right?
Let me get you a chair.
When I said I had an aunt who turned 65, and I said because of drugs, alcohol, and bad decisions, did you think I meant about her?
I get it. Oh, it's a location joke.
Oh, I heard it on TikTok. It was very funny. I mean, my whole family thought it was hilarious. Anyways, that's hi, Karen. Hi, Judy. Okay, well, we're doing really well, 2 for 2. Okay, notes. Thank you, Judy and crew. Thank you, Judy and crew, for making this a Macabbi Torah in Tzfat for women. And I don't know how many of you guys know this. Maybe everybody knows this, but like people who have friends in other parts of the world, or let's just say Israel, Beitar, Beit Shemesh, Yerushalayim, are so jealous of us. You have no idea. No idea. They think like, oh, maybe I'll go on vacation, come to Tzfat and spend Monday, at the bus Medrash.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not going to say I'm not going to say any of this because Sharpie. Oh, okay. Now, oh, God bless you. Laugh. Okay. So many things to say and time limiting. We'll see what we get to, because there's just so much going on. First of all, I just want to say that tomorrow is the yortzeit of Rebbe Elimelech Milagins, the Noam Elimelech, who I had my own personal miracle through him, which I will share with you. He was huge. He was a Talmud of the Maggid of Medrash, and he was up there, like one of huge Talmud Chacham and Rechov Kodesh, the whole bit, right? And one of his main Talmidim was the Jose of Lublin, and then that whole dynasty. Okay, so one story, which I thought was kind of cool, was there's a Jew who was like really, really in trouble, and he didn't have his landowner, the Poritz, who at that time they usually took advantage of the Jews, right? He like raised up the rent exorbitantly, and so this Jew goes to the Rebbe Elimelech, and says, I'm so nervous, I don't know what to do. And the Rebbe thinks for a minute, he goes, don't worry about it, everything's gonna be fine. In fact, you're gonna get a contract for the next 3 years that are gonna be great. And so the Rebbe, he believes in this, the Jew believes in his Rebbe, he leaves, he's all happy. And he goes back to his inn, and then he's not so happy anymore because he sees there's a big party going on there. The Poritz invited all his friends, and they're all partying it up with his liquor in his inn, in his tavern. And he's like, whoa, what is going to be now? And then the Poritz is like, this is not fun. I know what fun is. Fun is if I would slap this guy around. That would be fun. So he goes up to the Jew and he goes like this to slap him, and his hand gets stuck in there, and he can't move. And he's like, Jew, what's going on here? What's this sorcery? What is this? And the Jew's like, oh, this must be from the Rebbe. So he goes, I want you to agree to my terms and not raise the rent. And the guy goes, okay, anything, just stop this surgery, just let my hand go. And the Jew sees that his hand is still not going. So he goes, okay, so I want this to go on for 2 years this leaves. And the boy's like, he's freaking out. He goes, okay, anything, whatever, just stop this thing. And then the Jew remembers what the Rebbe said. 3 years. So then the Jew says, okay, fine, I'll end it if you agree that our rent stays the same for 3 years. And then the boy's hand goes down and he has co-op just to shake on the deal. So that's like, that's a no Melly Melt story, okay? And my personal story is that, which happened, I guess, about 16 years ago. My oldest son was going to LIVCE. A lot of people go to LIVCE in Poland to the Rebbe's kever. And I asked him, I said to my son, tell Rebbe Elimelech that if you daven for us, that we have another boy. I had a few boys before this. And so if you daven for him to give a boy, tell him we're going to name him after him. So he did that. And lo and behold, I had a boy within a year. And
7.
yeah.
7.
And Baruch Hashem. And my husband was a little annoyed because he was like, at first, because he was like, well, now we have to name him Elimelech. You didn't ask me or anything, whatever. So anyways, we did, but actually we named him Elimelech Dover, because Dover is the name of the Maggid of his Rebbe. So that's the Rebbe Elimelech. So remember, I think it's tomorrow. Yeah, to light a candle for Rebbe Elimelech LIVCE. And if you want a cute great fort that you'll remember, if anyone wants, you want to impress anyone. And from, I think it's last week's Parsha Kisisa, there's a word that's the word is venatanu, and you will give. And the letters are Vav, Nun, Taf, Nun, Vav. So thank you. So basically, it's what are those things called? What if there's a word in Hebrew for palindrome? Palindrome. Anyways, it's the same thing each way.
Like noon, like the word noon.
Right. Or not time, right. So basically what it's saying, what the Rebbe is saying is when you give, you get. Which is like, it's not like so hard to understand that, right? Like no matter what you do, even if you make a meal for somebody and they're like, oh my gosh, thank you. Then all of a sudden, like the stains you got on your dress and you burned your hands or whatever that happened when you were cooking, it just goes out the window that you're so happy that you were able to help that person. Okay, now, so that was the part about Rebbe Elimelech. And basically, what I want to give up, this is a great book. I don't know where you can get it. I found it like hidden in Torah Gems, but it's great because it's just very short vortlach in English from when Rav Rabashkin was in that place called prison. It's just a very, very easy to understand. So anyway, he says, he brings down over here that the Purim was established for Jews in Galus. Okay, that's us.
That's what they were.
That's what it's for. Because Purim is like we are in Galus, we're in the long Galus. So you might say, why am I speaking about Purim? Purim ended. Well, it didn't. It didn't. And how do I know that? I might have mentioned this before. Because my house is full of mess. I'm still on the sugar high. Yeah, exactly. It's because Mordecai and Esther, whatever, they wanted Purim to become a Yom Tov. And the Chachamim said no. Why? Because what do we do after a Yom Tov? We make Havdalah. We mavdil ben Kodesh l'chol. We separate. It's Shabbos now, and then it's Yom Chol. We separate between the mundane and holiness. After Purim, we can't do that. Purim doesn't allow for that. Purim just keeps going the whole year. It doesn't end. So that's how I can speak about Purim. You can speak about Purim all year round. Like, okay, well, we're still in Adar, but try speaking about it in Cheshvan. Well, Cheshvan, Motzi Shabbos, what do we all say? La Yudim, La Yudim, I mean, it's all year round. Purim, and for people who like to party, I mean, I don't know, like that, but people who like to drink and party, it's a good holiday to know that you're all year round, right. So the other thing is that the mitzvah, I want to tell you about 3 mitzvahs on Purim that we do that are like no special thing. Like Mikriyat Megillah, Matanot Le'Avyonim, and Mishloach Manot. Oh, we have to do these today. These are the special mitzvahs of Purim. What's so special about them? We do these all the time. Mikras Megillah, so I'll tell you what's special about that is, first of all, we got another book. We got Megillus Esther out of it. And the other thing that's special about it is anytime we have a Chag, we do Kriyas Torah, but we never do it at night and at morning. It's an extra, right? Matanot Le'Avyonim is tzedakah. We always give tzedakah. A Jew gives tzedakah. Tshuva, tefillah, tzedakah. It's part of our life. Mishloach manot. I mean, people were always being asked to cook for this person, cook for that person. They're moving. They had a baby. Whatever. We're constantly cooking for people. We're constantly sending out foods to people. So what's the difference, and what can we learn from it? Mishloach manot, matanot le'avyonim. Tzedakah. I could take a coin, put it in a pushka, and I got the mitzvah of tzedakah. On Purim, you can't do that. On Purim, you have to look for a person. You have to go out of your comfort zone. You have to get off your tushy. You have to go look and find something. If you find something, you could say through Shalia, but you have to say to that person, you need to give it to that person today, or else I don't get the mitzvah. Like today, you must give it to a poor person. Also, the food, you have to look around for something to give to the food to people, but today. Not if it comes your way. If you happen to walk by and there's somebody in the street who goes like this and you give them tzedakah. That's not matanot le'avyonim. And that's one of the lessons of Purim and of the mitzvahs. Is we're supposed to do this every day. Every day we're supposed to do matanot le'avyonim and mishloach manot. And that's why it's another reason why we say that Purim doesn't end. No one's going to say, like here also, very often someone will stand up and say, here's a cup. Not with water, preferably. Here's a cup. We're collecting for people. We do that. This is what a Jew does. But what a Jew is supposed to do is look for it. I remember when I first came to Israel, and everywhere in Yerushalayim, you turn around and there's something like this. I wasn't used to it. I remember asking Rabbi Tuvia Kaplan, "What's this all about?" And he said, if you walk down the street, turn around, and you see a beggar, you should say, "Ah, thank you." You're giving me the opportunity to do this, and that's supposed to be our attitude towards Purim. And I probably have like 1 minute left, or not even 1 more minute. Okay. So the other thing I just wanted to say, because there was so much juicy stuff. Love you. Oh gosh, he has a story in here that's basically that he said that when he got into the place called prison, what did they want to do? Right away, he's the one who said only Purim was established for Yid and Egalis. But what he said is that there's no difference. He keeps talking about how, that Mordechai was called a Yehudi, Mordechai Yehudi. Well, he wasn't from Yehuda, he was from Shevet Binyamin. But he was called Yehudi, and we all have to be Yehudi, and we have to be a Yehudi wherever we find ourselves. Okay, B'ezras Hashem, no one here is going to end up in a place called prison, but you might end up in a family member's house that's not religious. You might find out, like, I don't know, people have crazy stories, got stuck somewhere before Shabbos. Whatever it is, but the bottom line is, the first thing is that you are a Yehudi. I am a Yehudi. And then he talked about it, whatever, I don't have time, but the story about when he got there, they took off his clothes and they put him in this like orange suit that makes you look like a clown, but it's not funny, just to demoralize you. And they took away his tzitzis and kippah, and he didn't move, and they punished him, and eventually they gave him back his kippah and tzitzis. If you read it inside, it's much more intense. But basically what he's saying is like, what's the difference if I'm here or not here? I'm a Jew. That's the first thing. I'm a Jew in my home. I'm a Jew in the Beit Knesset. I'm a Jew in a place called prison. It's all the same. The first thing is I'm a Jew. Okay, now one more thing is I just want to tell everybody that because I was going to talk about this, I couldn't decide, but because this Shabbos is called Parshas HaChodesh. And I never looked into anything about these four parshas, right? We had Parsha Zachar, Shekalim, Hara, and a Chodesh. And so I'll just tell you one thing about a Chodesh, which is so beautiful, is that it says really that should have been, this Torah should have started off with that, right? Is that like the first Rashi?
Yeah.
First mitzvah of the Torah. And so really that they say the Torah should have started with Chodesh L'Chavet. But the reason it doesn't is because Hashem wanted to show how he praised the world. And of course, we have to learn about the Avos and the Imos and the Shvatim and whatever. But why is it so important? Why that it should have been, obviously it's going to be the first mitzvah. Obviously that's going to be really important, right? Yeah. It's the reason why it's so important is because it's what we do. Hashem says every seventh day of Shabbos, doesn't matter what's going on. Many times, I don't know about you, but Friday, I've tried to push off Shabbos and say it ain't happening, that we're going to push it off a day. My husband doesn't agree. No, I called Milana one time. Shabbayos, can't they do it? No, Shabbos is Shabbos is Shabbos. But the Chagim, we decide when it is. And it just shows Hashem's love for us.
And also, Hashem put us in control of time instead of time controlling us.
Right. That's kind of what I'm saying. Is that he gave us that really, like sometimes I forget why people call Judaism chauvinistic. Because what's more important than a family purity and kashrus? What is more important than that? I mean, if the woman is in charge of the family purity of the home, and the man doesn't have to check that she's doing it right. The man doesn't come into the kitchen, or I hope they don't, and say, did you check the rice? What's the texture of this? No, it's everything that you're feeding your whole family, the spiritual part of your whole family is on us. And the same thing as a Chodesh L'Chavet. So this week, if you go to shul and you hear it's Parshas Chodesh, just remember that Hashem is giving us that big hug once more about how much he's so happy that we're his, because that's why we're here, and that's what we want to do. We want to take Purim, we want to take Pesach, and we want to take all the things that Hashem gave us, faith to keep like no man enough. Why? Because he wants us, and he wants to have a relationship with us. And everybody should continue with Marvin B'Simcha and Adar, and we should have a Freilich and Pesach. Freilich. Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, so we're going on with our study of the laws of Boneh, construction on Shabbos. Okay, so just a quick review. Last week we talked about assembling and repairing functional items, like you can't screw a broom handle into a broom. You can't, repair a chair. You just have to get through this, really. You like this? Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Okay, it's important stuff. Okay. Okay, so anything that's in pieces, like that would be the essence of Boneh, like putting all these pieces together. Which brings us to the question of children's construction toys. Tinker toys, let me bring you back. Tinker toys, Lego, Lincoln logs, that's not so bad. We're going through history. Lincoln logs, anything, erector sets, you know what I'm talking about? You had such things?
Sure.
Lincoln logs, you have that? Okay. Lincoln logs live forever, along with Slinky. Okay, constructs, Legos. Okay, so what would be if you have something that's very essence is construction, right? That's what you do with it, right? You would think that would be that would be forbidden. I mean, that's what it, right? Like putting together a model airplane, right? That's its essence, is that it's put together, but its essence is also that it's taken apart, and it's not something that lives that exists very often. Kid throws it against the wall. Brother comes and kicks it over. What? Pillow forts. That's something else. That's a little more complicated. Okay, so the reason why, hello, good morning. The reason why some poskim allow it is because that's its method of use. That's what it's for. Its entire purpose, is to put it together and to take it apart. It has no other function other than that. So we learned a while back about this idea of derech tashmish, right? The only example that I, like putting I don't know why you would do this, but like putting the roll back in the toilet paper thing, right? Or a paper towel holder, right? Like that would be, that's what it's made for. That's how it works. That's how, as opposed to screwing in a broom handle, right? Which it's not its function whatsoever. Its function is to sweep. So its function is to be put together and taken apart, and hopefully they'll put it away neatly and cleanly, and you won't be left with a big mess.
One second, a rector said it's okay.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes. Because like I said,
It's really like nuts and bolts and.
yeah, because because like I
It's
said,
meant to be put
it's
together
meant
and
to be
taken apart.
put together and taken apart. Yeah.
Okay.
My mother had this like miniature sewing machine, and I used to. This is like guilt stuff. I'm sorry, Mom. Really, after all these, and I used to take it and it had all these screws and nuts. And I was quite handy. I mean, I was young. I was 6, 7. I would take it apart and I would put it all back together perfectly. And then one time she caught me in the middle of it, and she's like, "This is gone too." I could do it. I could do it. I know how to do it. Really, I do know. I didn't get my chance. So I hope she knows someplace. It disappeared. She forgave me. All right. Okay. All right. So now we're going to talk a little bit about folding furniture. Folding furniture as opposed to like furniture that, like we gave the example of a crib where you want to raise the mattress. You have to take these little things and put them in and lay the mattress on top of that. This would not be allowed. This is actually folding furniture, and again, its purpose, its function is to fold.
Wait, you can't open the crib on Shabbos?
Adjust the mattress.
Can't right.
But what
The
about?
height of the mattress.
Judy, what if it's too high and the baby could jump,
And put the baby someplace else or hold it or
Put
something.
the baby on the
You
floor.
can't, it depends what kind.
Yes, get your own.
It's actually the holes is the issue. The hole, putting a little, the pins, right, exactly, in those holes. And then putting that you can't change. So you do it on Shabbat, before Shabbat.
Like it's a chair,
Yeah,
but the sheet on the chair is not connected.
yes,
And stood up and the sheet like,
yeah,
can you put it there?
yeah. And also cushions you can put back I don't, for whatever reason, it's not the main part of the construction. And one can. That's a good thing that they do. You can fold, you can unfold and unfold tables. Let's see, folding bed or cot, benches, folding table, folding chairs, folding playpen, folding crib. Take out your porta crib. That's umbrella.
No, you can't.
No, umbrella is something else. Umbrella is something else. What'd you say? Makes an O-hell, exactly. Right, the one of the main ideas of bonnet is that you're making, you're making a shelter and you're being under it. So, okay, even though it's temporary, even though it's meant to open and close, it's not. Okay, a futon you can open up and close
When
up.
you said open and close a table, can you, there's a lot of tables that light came.
Right.
So
So it's, I checked it, it's a little bit of a machlokas. The problem again is the pins. So the pins, right. So certainly you should do it before Shabbos. If you,
Sometimes you want to close it.
closing it is not a problem. Closing is not a problem. It's opening it and putting the thing. So if you have a kind of a table where you don't have to fit it into any little things, like mine has these moves, because there's a little round disc. Things. Anyway, so it's mine, I don't have the problem. But if you must, then like your mother-in-law, your Macha Tennister and her whole family show up at your house and you have to, so you can, but you can lengthen it, but you have to take it apart immediately after the meal. So
I have to tell you guys something, I was surprised. Yesterday I was learning Or Chaim on the Parsha, and it talks about that he says, sometimes it says vav and sometimes it doesn't say vav. Like sometimes it says and this and that. And basically what the point is like, you think of like, there's the Aron and the Shulchan, and then there's the poles. He said the poles have the same Kedusha as the Aron and the Shulchan and all that. Like you would think the pools are okay, the pools, whatever, just like, it's unbelievable. It's exactly what we're learning. You would think the pools were just like, whatever, just to put everything else together. We said, no, the pools had the same Kedusha. Such like
Okay.
amazing when,
Right.
so when you're like frustrated because you can't put something together, just like your mom is doing,
Look at the
like a
bowls.
de-eraser,
Look at the bowls. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that is it, and that is all. Okay.
That's a problem.
I don't hear you.
Everybody, come on, Lord. Come on, get out. That's
Okay. Oh, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. Everybody, if you.
Simmer down now.